The story begins with our MC, a 17-year-old boy named Sito Kid. For the first time in his life, he just got a text message from a girl. Excited, he shows it to his friends, Izumi and Asahi, who really care about Kid and act like his guardians. Kid, with a spark of hope, asks them, "Isn't this a sign that love is finally coming into my life?" Izumi looks at him and says, "Hold on, Kid. That text could just as easily be from a man. Or worse, it might even be a scam." Kid looks at his friends, confused, and asks, "How do you guys even know that for sure?" Koga Asahi, one of Kid's friends, lets out a sigh and says, "Look, Kid, even if it is a girl, she might turn out to be a bad person. Could be a honey trap, or something weird. You never know." Kid quickly pulls out his phone and shows the girl's profile picture to his friends. With a hopeful smile, he says, "Look, she looks like this. She's really cute, right?" Izumi, one of Kid's friends, leans in and shakes his head. "Kid, that picture probably isn't even her. People just grab random images from the internet these days. And honestly, that message she sent you has all the red flags of a scam." Izumi lets out a small laugh and says, "You know, Kid, you, Asahi, and I have known each other since elementary school. Your disbelief and naivety, well, that's kind of a virtue too." Hearing that, the MC, Kid, looks down with a really sad expression under the gloomy sky. He mutters, "I seriously thought this was just how people get to know each other these days." Under the same gloomy sky, the MC, Kid, lets out a sigh and says, "I just want to have a girlfriend," or something like that. "I want to be able to fall in love like a normal person." Izumi crosses his arms and shakes his head. "Man, the internet really does sound like a scary place to me. Kid, you should probably just cancel your subscription altogether." Koga Asahi jumps in and adds, "Yeah, I think you should cancel your home internet too, Kid." The MC, Kid, looks at Asahi, clearly confused, and says, "Wait, did the internet do something to one of your relatives or something? And how do you guys even know about these kinds of scams happening all the time online?" Izumi and Koga Asahi glance at each other and reply, "We've just heard some rumors about stuff like this happening." With that, the three of them start walking together under the gloomy sky. The MC, Kid, looks at Izumi and Asahi with a worried face and asks, "If meeting people online is so dangerous, then how am I ever supposed to meet any girl?" Koga Asahi shrugs and says, "Come on, Kid, there are tons of websites out there. You just have to find someone who actually seems decent." Izumi nods and adds, "Yeah, just make sure you look for someone who shows their real identity. No fake stuff." The MC, Kid, lets out a frustrated sigh under the gloomy sky. "I really need a girlfriend badly." As the MC, Kid, Izumi, and Koga Asahi keep talking, they walk past a convenience store under the same gloomy sky. Out of nowhere, a girl comes out of the store and accidentally bumps right into Kid. Her bag's pendant gets caught on Kid's bag, making them both stop. The girl looks flustered and quickly says, "I'm so sorry." The MC, Kid, just as nervous as the girl, quickly says, "It's okay. Really, don't worry about it." But in her panic, the girl tugs her bag too hard. Kid's bag gets caught and rips a little at the seam. Seeing what she's done, the girl's eyes go wide in shock. "I'm so sorry. I'll pay for the damage, I promise." The MC, Kid, waves his hands nervously and says, No, you don't have to do that. It's totally fine." Then, still flustered, Kid says goodbye to the girl and walks away under the gloomy sky. Izumi pats Kid on the back and says, "Well done, Kid, but you know, that could have been your chance to meet someone." Kid suddenly freezes as it hits him. He thinks to himself, "That was my chance. And I blew it." He sighs, realizing, being from an all-boys high school, I really don't know how to handle situations with girls. The next day, after school, the MC, Kid, and his friends Izumi and Koga Asahi head toward the school entrance. Under the same gloomy sky, they notice a small crowd gathering near the gate. Something's definitely happening. As they get closer, they spot a pretty girl standing there, looking around like she's waiting for someone. Kid squints, trying to see her face, and then freezes. It's the same girl from yesterday, the one who bumped into him by the convenience store. The MC, Kid, is completely flabbergasted. The girl spots the MC, Kid, in the crowd and her eyes light up. She lets out a small sigh of relief and says, "Thank goodness. I've been looking for you, Kid." She glances around at all the curious stares and adds, I knew you went to this school because of your uniform, but I didn't think I'd draw this much attention. She looks a bit embarrassed and mutters. Maybe it's because this is an all-boys high school. The girl looks Keed straight in the eyes and says, I wanted to properly apologize for what happened yesterday. The MC, Keed, waves his hands nervously. You really don't have to. It's totally fine. That's when Keed notices that Izumi and Koga Asahi have quietly slipped away, giving them space to talk alone under the gloomy sky. The girl glances around at all the staring students and lowers her voice. Actually, there's something else I want to talk about too. Could I borrow you for a few seconds? We're drawing way too much attention here. Let's talk over there in the corner instead. The MC, Keed, nods and says, yeah, sure. We then see Keed and the girl move over to a quiet corner, away from all the curious eyes under the gloomy sky. Taking a deep breath, the girl looks at Keed seriously and says, I thought that if I said this right away, it might scare you off, but I want to be totally honest with you. Standing there in that quiet corner under the gloomy sky, the MC, Keed, finally gets a good look at her. He can't help but think to himself, she's really pretty. I wish I could go out with a girl like that. Then, breaking his train of thought, the girl looks Keed straight in the eyes and says, I've fallen in love with you at first sight. The MC, Keed, stands there completely stunned by her words under the gloomy sky. The girl takes a breath and says, yesterday, when I bumped into you, I just couldn't help but feel like you were the right one. Keed's eyes widen even more. But I don't even know you at all. She smiles shyly and says, of course, I'm not asking you to decide anything right now. I'd really like us to get to know each other first. And if, after that, you're still not interested in me, then I'll give up. But for now, I hope we can at least become friends. She hands the MC, Keed, her number, and he takes it, still trying to process what just happened. The MC, Keed, gives her a small, grateful smile and says, thanks. Meanwhile, not too far away under the gloomy sky, Izumi and Koga Asahi are secretly peeking around the corner, watching everything unfold. They can't help but grin, happy to see Keed finally catching a break. The girl smiles back at Keed and says, by the way, my name is Arasaka Sabesa. I'm a sophomore. Keed nods, still a bit flustered, and replies, I'm Sito Keed. Arasaka Sabesa-chan checks the time and says with a small smile, I should get going now, or I'll miss my bus. I really hope you'll contact me, Keed. Just then, out of nowhere, someone comes running by and accidentally bumps into Sabesa-chan. She loses her balance and falls forward, right into the MC, Keed's, arms under the gloomy sky. Suddenly, the MC, Keed, looks terrified as he tries to steady himself. Right then, Izumi and Koga Asahi rush over under the gloomy sky. They quickly step in and say, hey, we're friends of Keed. We were just passing by and saw him fall. They turn to Arasaka Sabesa-chan and ask, are you okay? Did you get hurt? Sabesa-chan shakes her head with a small smile. I'm fine. I'm not hurt at all. Koga Asahi lets out a little laugh and pats Keed on the shoulder. Keed's not hurt either, but knowing him, he probably doesn't want to be seen after such a pathetic fall. Arasaka Sabesa-chan nods, understanding the situation, and quietly leaves under the gloomy sky. Right after, the MC, Keed, breaks down in tears. Izumi and Koga Asahi quickly pull Keed back up and reassure him, hey, it's okay. You don't need to be afraid now. Then we see a sudden flashback. The scene shifts to when Keed's teacher is leading him toward the gym. The MC, Keed, looks confused and asks, Sensei, why are we going to the gym? Moments later, we see young Keed shouting and practically begging the teacher, please, stop. Don't go any further. I'm begging you. Later, Asahi and Izumi pressed Keed about what happened, and a visibly shaken Keed confessed that his teacher had sexually harassed him. Now, in the present, Keed sits on a bench with Asahi and Izumi, guilt weighing on him. Sorry for dragging you into this again, he mutters. Asahi doesn't hesitate. Don't worry about it, he replies firmly. You're not bothering us at all. The MC, Keed, takes a shaky breath and says under the gloomy sky, whenever I'm around a woman, it feels like there isn't any problem, like everything's fine now. Keed's voice cracks as he looks at Izumi and Koga Asahi. I always tell myself I'm just a normal boy like everyone else. But now I feel like I can't ever go back to being normal. Tears start to stream down Keed's face as he breaks down crying. his friends sitting silently by his side. Seeing the MC, Keed, crying under the gloomy sky, Koga, Asahi, and Izumi exchange a look. Asahi gently says, "Keed, we don't see you as any different from anyone else." Izumi nods in agreement. The two friends then talk quietly to each other. It hasn't happened to him in a long time, but then yesterday, the panic attack came back again. After a quiet moment under the gloomy sky, Izumi looks at the MC, Keed, and asks, "So, what about Arasaka Sabesa-chan? Did you text her yet?" Koga Asahi leans in, curious too. Keed shakes his head slowly. "No, I haven't. After what happened that day, I didn't even say goodbye to her properly. She probably hates me now." Keed lets out a sigh. "I guess I should at least text her." Koga Asahi pats the MC, Keed, on the back and says, "You should definitely text her." Izumi nods in agreement. "Yeah, Keed, just do it." Under the gloomy sky, Keed takes a deep breath. Deep down, he wants to prove to himself that he can live a normal life, just like everyone else. Hours pass. Keed sits alone, overthinking every word. After 3 whole hours, he finally types out a message. It's stiff and awkward, way too formal, almost like a business email. But it's the first text the MC has ever sent to a girl.